Hey everybody, it's Olivia with Freedom at the Mat. Thank you for joining once again for another reading. I'll get right into it. I'm still in one of my favorite books by Neale Donald Walsh called Meditations from Conversations with God. Many of you guys may be familiar with his series. He had several of these books called Conversations with God 20 years ago. And then he has a book called Meditation. So that's what we're reading from. Again, all props to him. I love this series of books. And so today I'm going to talk about relationships. Reading from his June 2nd passage, which says, most people enter into relationships with an eye towards what they can get out of them, rather than what they can put into them. Once again, most people enter into relationships with an eye on what they can get out of them rather than what they can put into them. So today, I just invite you to do an evaluation of how you are transacting in all of your relationships. When we say the word relationships, we're often thinking about romantic relationships, and we'll get there in a second. But I invite you to think about your relationship with yourself. We're going to start with ourselves, right? I wake up this morning, I'm expecting to have an incredible day, right? But did I nourish my body? Did I nourish my mind? And did I nourish my spirit? If I look at it in that way, right, the relationship with myself, I'm wanting to get something spectacular out of my day, extraordinary out of my day, but I have not really put anything into my relationship with myself to actually produce for myself. We're going to start with that relationship, right? We're going to also look at our relationship with our family and our friends, right? Do you reach out to your auntie, your mama, your daddy, your cousins, your sisters, just because you want to know how they're doing? You keep up with them. You know they have a big job interview. You know they have something going on that's really important for them, something with their child, something with their spouse, something with anything. Are you investing in that relationship and you're pouring into them, or are you only contacting those loved ones when you need something from them? Really think about it, right? And then, of course, romantic relationships, right? Whether you are in a committed relationship that is marital or not, or whether you are looking to get into one. We can't do anything about what other people are doing. But I ask you to do an evaluation today and ask yourself, when you are connecting with this partner, right? Again, committed or not, doesn't really matter the state of the relationship. Are you thinking about what you can get from them? Or are you thinking about this person being a suitable person that you can give to, that you can love, that you can pour on? I think, unfortunately, and I'll make that judgment, I think that so many of our relationships are so transactional. They're so focused on what I can get versus how I can give. What I believe in my life, I really believe this, that is showing up for me time and time again, is the more I give to others, the more I get back. And this kind of dovetails into surrendering expectations, which we talked about previously in this series of readings. When you just give to whoever it is, you may not get that same love in return from that person, but your needs for love, your needs for support will be provided for by a much higher divine power. So you don't have to worry about, I gave all my love to this person and they didn't give it back. Or maybe they gave it to you in a different way. Maybe they gave you the best they could. But I invite you right now to really, really focus on the relationships that you are cultivating, whether it's a relationship with yourself, loved ones, or romantically, or even with work. How are you showing up for these relationships? Are you showing up with your hand out, just like, gimme, gimme, gimme? Or are you showing up saying, this is what I have to give. I am hopeful that I get all that I want in return, but maybe I won't, and I won't focus on that. My only obligation is for me to show up wanting to give, knowing that I will be loved in return. Now, that may seem like a really big concept, but I'm going to challenge you with one additional thing. And that is not making that relationship or that person responsible for your needs being met. You have to surrender, and I hate using words like have to or should, but I invite you to surrender your expectations completely and really think about your needs being met from a divine order. Because if I am giving to person A and I'm expecting person A to give back to me because I gave to them, that's a violent transactional relationship. I'm giving so I can get. I'm giving so I can get. Right? But what happens if I just give because I have it to give? And then I trust that somewhere along the way that the divine is going to meet my needs. Can you try that? Can you surrender any violence that you have with your giving and your getting and just surrender yourself to the giving? May God be with you. Namaste.